There's a new show on FX called A Teacher. I actually didn't know about this. My fiance has shown me this video, and I was very disturbed, to say the least. This show basically portrays an adult teacher who has a relationship with her young student. And I just honestly feel like if the roles were reversed, the teacher was a male and the student was a female, the show wouldn't have even aired. It wouldn't have even been a thought. They wouldn't even tried it. But of course, you know, women get away with certain things like this. They don't really see them as threatening. But I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman, if you identify as a leprechaun, I really don't care. If you're attracted to a minor, you are a pedophile. That's as simple as it is. You know, this show has some type of negative connotations towards the relationship. However, I still don't think you need to put this in a show to explain to people that it's bad, and especially to profit off of this type of entertainment. Like, absolutely not okay. But anyways, I'm going to show you the trailer first, and then I'll go ahead and break it down.
I never get to see you like this.
Like what?
Yourself.
Delete that video. You are a really good man.
Never felt this way before. It's new. I like the way you smell in the morning.
I've never given myself permission to feel this way.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah. Great work, Eric. Listen, you cannot tell anyone about us, ever.
Is that a hickey, Claire?
What?
Tomorrow, you're gonna go back to him, and this will have never happened.
I really want to start a family with you.
What is this to you? Is this just some bored housewife shit?
I'm risking my entire life to be with you.
The school was notified this morning. A report's been filed.
Everyone's freaking out about this, man.
I'm so mad at you.
You're gonna be like a legend.
I can't stop thinking about you. I can't eat. I can't sleep.
You hooked up with your teacher?
I'll bow down to you, bro.
I need help, Mom.
Look at what it's doing to us.
So I don't know about you, but I got a very horrible, upset feeling about this just watching the trailer. It does try to make it seem like these two consenting individuals are in this relationship together, and there's all these obstacles keeping them apart. The fact that she's, you know, his teacher, he's a minor, the law is involved, and a lot of people on this comment section are trying to say it's not to romanticize this relationship, it's to show a negative connotation, which is not what I got the feeling of. I got this idea that, you know, there's this girl who just never felt so free in her life, and, you know, she never allowed herself to feel this way. And then you have a young minor boy who is like lovesick, right? He's like, I can't sleep, I can't eat. Like, that's not lovesick. That's what happens when you are being physically, mentally, sexually abused, right? You have side effects like that. And then everyone's portraying him as this legend. Like, wow, you're a legend. You slept with your teacher. Wow. And, you know, it's weird. It gives her more like you kind of feel bad. They like try to push like this sympathy towards her. Like, no one's letting her love this person that she just loves. Like, age, you know, shouldn't be a boundary within relationships, which it definitely should. So there's so many wrong things about this show. And, you know, to profit off something like this, something so disgusting, just think about it if the roles were reversed. If it was a male teacher and a child that was a girl, it would be a whole separate issue. People would be freaking out. They didn't even try it because they knew they wouldn't be able to get away with it. I don't even know how this became an idea. Of course, these sick people will always have these ideas in their head, but like, how did this get approved of? Like, especially with everything that's going on, you want to make a show like this? Like, come on, be smarter. Like, you guys had to approve this. This had to go through like a chain of commands and get approved. You know, it wasn't some like little intern made this and it got just put on Hulu. Like, that's not how it works. So it's really crazy to me that this even got approved. That wasn't the first TV show to portray a child and their teacher being in a relationship together. I'm going to show you a clip from a TV show called Riverdale. Riverdale has a huge teen demographic. Their audience is children, teenagers currently in high school watching a show that romanticizes, portrays two, characters to have a consensual relationship. I want to be very clear. If you are a minor, you cannot have a consensual relationship with someone older than you. So that is just absolutely disturbing at all costs. Like, you don't need to be in a relationship with your teacher. These kids are being said that this is okay. There's no consequences in these actions, and that love has no boundaries. Yes, they do. Love has lots of boundaries. So anyways, I want to show you this clip. It is pretty disturbing, so just prepare yourself, okay? I'm going to show it right now.
Miss Grundy? Hey.
Archie, what are you doing walking in this heat?
Building character?
Do you want to ride?
Wow. That was 100% child predatory behavior that teacher displayed. I consider this type of entertainment to be child grooming. So if a child lays their eyes upon a relationship like this, it's portrayed in entertainment, they're going to be desensitized to it. That's how your brain works. The more you hear something, the more something is normalized, the more you are desensitized to it, the more normalized it becomes. So you have all these shows portraying relationships like this, and kids are watching it. These are kids that are in high school watching this show, and they're romanticizing a relationship between a teacher and a student. It's sexual abuse, it's sexual assault. So another TV show that portrays this type of relationship is Pretty Little Liars. This is a show that I used to be obsessed with. I was like 12 years old when this came out, and I watched this so much. Like, I loved this show, and I can testify as someone who used to be obsessed with this show, I used to love this relationship. I loved this couple, and they kind of put it in a way where you don't really realize how bad it is, because they meet literally one day before school starts, and she's lying about her age. She's in some bar and she lies about her age, and she basically ends up making out with him that day. Then the next day she finds out that he's her teacher, and that's basically how their story began. But the way that they built that character, that relationship up is like, it's no big deal. They knew each other before school started. She lied about her age. But you know what? At the same time, he's her teacher. He went there. He found out the very next day that's his student. I would move across the country if that happened to me. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. But then what gets even crazier is later on in the series, you find out that he actually knew about her the whole time. So he did sought her out. He was being a pedophile, and he sought her out so he can get, information about one of her missing friends. And it's a really stupid show. But it's just really creepy and crazy, because it turns out that, he knew about her the whole time. And there's so many times throughout the show, he's like, you can't tell anybody. And he started freaking out on her and getting jealous and getting really creepy and weird about like how nobody can know. And, as a child, I didn't see what was wrong with that. I really didn't, because you are a child. You don't understand really the drasticness of a situation like that. So really crazy that was kind of how their character built up. Like, not a big deal. She lied about her age. They knew each other literally one day before school. Okay, you only met her one time. You could have totally ended the relationship. Yes, it was a horrible situation. She lied about her age, but then that's when it should have been cut off, right? When you found out she was your student. But no, you continued seeing her, and then it turns out you actually knew who she was from the very beginning. You sought her out on purpose. So yeah, the whole story gets me so upset. Like, now as an adult, I understand how disgusting this is. As a 12, 13-year-old, whenever the show came out, I shipped these two people so hardcore. Now I'm like, ew, 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 ew. And then it turns out that they get married. So it's like they totally wrap this relationship up in this pretty little picture. They get married, and they get to, have a family, and they've loved each other. And sometimes it's okay to lie about your age and get in a relationship with your teacher. Like, what? What in the world? So did you notice that this guy is very young and attractive? Because imagine if he was like an old, fat, bald guy, right? It would be a whole different perspective on this relationship. I know when I was watching this show, 13 years old, if this guy was fat, old, and bald, it would have been a whole separate perspective for me. But because he's young and he's attractive, they wrap it up in this way where they can manipulate the minds of the youth. That's exactly what they're doing. Another show that portrayed this student-teacher relationship was Degrassi. Degrassi is a Canadian show. It's literally been going on since the 80s. It's been going on for like 40-something years, right? And it's just like, I don't know if it's ever going to end. I think Netflix owns it now, of course. And they're super controversial, shows so much craziness. They portrayed a student-teacher relationship 3 different times. One of them was a college professor. I still have a problem with that. Wasn't necessarily pedophilia, but 2 different occasions shows this romanticizing relationship. They act like it's consensual between a student and a teacher, which it's not. It's child abuse. It's child grooming. It's gross. It's sexual exploitation, but whatever. They'll do whatever they want, right? That's how these people work. Another show that basically exploits children is One Tree Hill. They have the same type of situation as Pretty Little Liars. This girl lies about her age, starts dating this guy. He turns out to be her teacher, and they continue dating. You know, there's so many things wrong with this. First of all, you shouldn't be lying about your age. Second, if you find out that you're dating someone who's your teacher, stop. And the teacher's the one who's supposed to be responsible for stopping it, but he didn't. He never did. It's disgusting. They always try to act like kids can consent to these things. They always try to act like these kids are so much more mature, and that's their end goal, you know, so people could start seeing children as more mature type of adults, that they can consent to these type of relationships when they cannot. It is not consensual. It is rape. It is child molestation. It is child exploitation. It's everything that you can name about sexual assault and child grooming. That's exactly what these type of relationships are. So I find it very wrong on so many different levels. I can't speak for you. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. There's definitely something wrong with these type of relationships. This is obviously normalizing these type of behaviors. Child grooming is just a way to get to their end goal, which is to normalize pedophilia. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Hitler said it himself. Whoever has the youth has the future. This is the same man that manipulated, brainwashed millions of German people to become Nazis, to believe that Jews were evil, and to kill them. This is the same man that created the Hitler Youth Program, where he manipulated and brainwashed the little kids to become part of his army. This is the same exact man who did all those things. So if you don't think there's any truth to that, there is. This guy did it. He brainwashed, he manipulated, he desensitized people to think Jewish people were evil. So if you don't think that, you know, they're targeting children so that they could have gain of the future by gaining the youth, you're wrong. That's exactly what this is. Putting all this stuff in kids and teen shows, that's basically to control the future. Gain the youth, you gain the future. There's a better opposition to that, though. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, that is God's word, is true, it is authoritative, and it conquers all. Love conquers all multitude of sins. Do not let the evil one deceive your children. Train them up in the way they should go. They will not depart from it. It is that simple. Teach them about Jesus. Let them know what he did for them at the cross, and let them know what that means, and they will not depart from it. They will understand what is evil, what is wrong, what is right, and what is true, and that is Jesus. So anyways, it's that simple. I'm going to go ahead and cut off this video. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day, and God bless you guys.